And now here comes the theme song.
Well, hey, how are you doing? Have a seat. Have a drink. Boy, I can glad to see ya. What can you say? Where's Lala?
Oh my goodness, folks. I can't even do, I'd have to pull out a calendar, but when was the last time you heard me do something new? I don't know, but here we are doing something new because this is the Beard Owl Podcast. It's the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And I'm Lauren. I'm here, and I'm joined by a very special guest today, and his name is Bill. Hi, Bill.
Hi. Hey, Lauren. How are you?
I'm
That was an adorable. The intro is adorable. I've heard it a few times now, but it never ceases to get old. So
Yes, it doesn't cease to get old because
Yeah.
that's my niece Cecilia, who her name sometimes gets abbreviated by her parents to Cease. So
Okay.
so it doesn't cease. It is Cease.
non-ceasing cease.
It's
Excellent.
non-ceasing Cease. Yes,
Cool.
it's very cute. Oh my God, she is so much more articulate than that now. But I don't think I have the heart to get rid of that intro because I think it's precious.
It's adorable.
Thank
It's pretty
you.
great.
Well, first of all, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Beard Owl Podcast. And, this time here now, before we dive into the topic, which folks, just look at the episode title. That'll tell you what you're in for. But before we do that, Bill, you have a podcast that I think my audience absolutely would appreciate and enjoy.
I hope so. I appreciate that. So I do a show entitled A Gamer Looks at 40. So if you want to think about it, it's like a pirate looks at 40.
Mhm.
Just A Gamer Looks at 40, the Jimmy Buffett song, just
Yes.
a take on that. And it's a nostalgia based romp through video games. It's a video game show where I focus on retro games and I allow people to tell stories about how video games have affected their lives, and not just the games they love, but why they love it. And some of the just, again, it's very much so like sitting around a campfire and talking about like, hey, I remember this one time I played this one game, and it gets some very silly to very serious sometimes. People talk about how games affected their livelihoods, how it got them through trauma. Like it sometimes gets a little heavy, and sometimes it's a lot of just silly fun and everything in between. And we just go through a variety of different systems and games and topics, and it's a big old, it's fun. It's a good time, I think, at least.
Yes, it absolutely is. And I listened and I said to myself, you're very much doing with the nostalgia of video games what we're trying to do over here with this nostalgia of Weird Al, because we have moments where it's just very silly, and then we also have moments where it's like, so that Weird Al song got me through this time, and like it gets heavy.
Yeah,
So,
no, totally.
There's something to be, so yes, A Gamer Looks at 40. I love the nod to the Jimmy Buffett song. I think that's a pure delight. And I think there's something to be said about the power of nostalgia and the comfort that it brings to us,
Yeah, nostalgia is interesting. I don't consider myself a very nostalgic person, but the way the show kind of came up was I turned 40. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm halfway to death. Fantastic.
no.
Best case scenario, halfway, which is fine. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. That's fine. I have no issues with it. Not dramatic. Really. It's like, whatever. It's how it's supposed to work. And I'm like, but so I kind of like looking back, and the first time I had in a while, like I don't really look back at stuff. And I realized that video games are a very important part of my upbringing. A lot of my life milestones can be marked with video games alongside of it. And I thought, well, I want to do a show. I haven't done a podcast in a while. And I think, what would I do a show? I want to do a show about how games affected me as a person at the age of 40. It's like a gamer looks at 40. And then I'm like, ooh, my story and everybody else's.
Yeah.
That was it. And I was like, okay,
Mm.
cool. And each episode, main episodes will have up to maybe 10 different people on it with telling different stories. So it's not just one person. It's usually a group of people talking about one particular topic or game series or something along those lines. So it's kind of like a Ken Burns documentary, right? If you watch one of those, it's
Yes,
got different
yes,
voices all
yes.
throughout. Yeah, it's kind of got that vibe to it. So, but yeah, that's kind of it's a very hard podcast to explain.
No,
I
no,
wish I could just say it's a retro gaming podcast where old people talk about old games.
but
That's what I do.
that is what you do. But it's more nuanced than that. And thank you for explaining the
Yeah.
nuance of it, because I think that's definitely important. And I feel that I'm a Nintendo girl. Okay. So like I'm not big into like games where I have to, really fight people or do anything like that. I like the cute, and that's what I enjoy. And
Awesome.
I'm a big fan of the whole Mario Party series. I could play Mario Party forever. And
Yeah.
they just came out with one not too long ago for the Switch. It's called Mario Party All Stars. And what I love about it is it's like upgraded graphics, but it's boards and mini games from all the preceding installments of Mario Party. So I'm like,
Great.
oh, I remember this from Mario Party 2, but it looks so much better now. And
That's cool.
so I'm having those little like nostalgic moments of like laying on the floor, playing Mario Party 2 back when it came out. And now here I am, an adult sitting on my own couch in the house that I bought playing the same game.
It's cool. And nostalgia can be a tricky, like I said, nostalgia is a tricky drug, right? It's great because it allows you to think back and recontextualize and sometimes inform some future decisions. Maybe kind of just, it's good to think back and recollect, even if it's just kind of like I say selfish, but just recollect about things. But you don't want to live in nostalgia either, because there's lots of cool stuff happening right around us now, right?
Mhm.
So, it's a tricky balance, but I like nostalgia in terms of storytelling. Like I like hearing people's stories. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm here for. And that's when the show is clicking, that's what it's doing. So yeah.
That's a delight. So, folks, definitely go check
Thank
that
you.
out. I'm going to put links to that in the show notes here. So, I'm going to try and make it as easy for everyone as possible, because this is definitely right up y'all's alley. If you're listening to this show, you will like A Gamer Looks at 40, because I guarantee you too are an old nerd. That's. I mean,
I love it.
We just got to own it.
I own it.
Yeah. So, in the spirit of the show, and the fact that we are coming upon the holiday season, I'm beginning the run where I have my customary holiday beer. I have Mad Elf, the holiday ale brewed with cherries and honey from Trogs Independent Brewing in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And I still have one more 12-pack from 2022 left, so this is a 2022 edition. I will be getting my 2023 very soon. But
Very nice.
yeah, this is one of those beers that ages well. So like it's not as carbonated as it was. So this is a little flat, but the kind of ale that it is, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I was I no longer drink anymore, but I was very much so into the craft beer scene here in Texas for a very long time. And I know the Mad Elf very well. I'm from New Jersey originally. So
Okay.
Trogs. So every year, my brother will have some Mad Elf in the fridge when we get home. So when I'm there for Christmas or the holidays. So I know the Mad Elf well. Me and the Mad Elf have had a couple of tangles. Let's be honest, a couple of late night skirmishes with the Mad Elf.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's delicious because it got that cherry in there too,
Yep.
right? It's like a,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's sweet and tart and just very malty. And
Yep.
this is what Christmas tastes like to me. So I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? We're in that season now, because let's see.
Get the nutmeg, forget the cinnamon. Yeah, give you
Mhm.
like malt depth, that little fruitiness. That's great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
That's yummy stuff.
This is a nostalgic beer for me, so
There you go.
it plays very much into what we're doing. And you're talking about the stories that nostalgia brings to us. And when you approached me with the topic that you wanted to talk about here, I said, like, well, first of all, we haven't really taken a dive into this song on this show yet. And I felt like there might really be no better way than somebody who is as adept in story as you for this. And I said, okay, let's take a dive into this, because we are diving into Trapped in the Drive-Thru from Straight Outta Linwood. And you're gonna drive this, because this is your completely unscientific. What did you call it? What did you call it?
I don't remember. I was like my thoroughly scientific but not really serious investigation into Trapped in the Drive-Thru. I meant
Yes.
to have a whole I want to outline this. I did not, so we're
Well,
just gonna have to
we'll wing
drive
it.
the bus.
We'll drive the bus.
We'll do what
Because
we
what
gotta
did
do,
you
yeah.
said? You said it's your scholarly and not at all serious deep dive into the masterpiece that is Trapped in the Drive-Thru.
And it is a masterpiece. This I unapologetically can say I think this is probably one of my favorite parodies he's ever done because it captures everything he does well so well.
Yes.
It captures all of the things Weird Al does very well. We'll get into it. But yeah, I'm excited because I absolutely adore this song. Adore it.
It's great. And I think I've been very hesitant to tackle this song for a number of reasons. Not the least of which being the R. Kelly of it all, which puts like a big like black mark on this brilliance of Weird Al. So this is what we're going to acknowledge. We're going to acknowledge that the R. Kelly work exists and that Weird Al parodied it, but we're not touching on the R. Kelly of it all.
It's funny when you say that. I was going to open with the worst part about doing this episode and researching this episode was listening to the R. Kelly song first. It's because it's just obviously people have their own tastes. I don't want to support R. Kelly as an artist. I don't want to give him a Spotify click. But I quickly realized after 3-4 minutes of listening to the original Trapped in the Closet, it's a horrendous song. And it is not good. Weird Al elevates this. Genuinely elevates this. And again, in pretty much every way a song can be elevated. So
yes.
I did not listen to the full 34 chapters of Trapped in the Closet.
First of all,
yeah.
I did, and not for this, but years ago, before we knew just how awful R. Kelly was, I went onto YouTube and I just fell down that rabbit hole, and it gets more and more and more absurd until you're like, how does this exist? Like, how is this a thing? And I don't even really remember the plot. I know there are several little people for no reason other than the fact that maybe R. Kelly found them amusing in this context, and it's just too much. It's entirely too much. So I think the fact that Weird Al, historically throughout his career, most of his storylines have been too much.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, the Trapped in the Closet has 14 characters in it.
It's too many.
14 characters. And it is just there are diagrams. I found a diagram of who slept with who in the Trapped in the Closet cinematic universe. It literally said the word cinematic universe.
No.
To which I go, we should not be. No one should have. It's just it's a terrible song. Even just structurally, like lyrically, he is hammering in all of these words that don't quite rhyme. And if you've listened to a lot of parodies, one of the worst things a parody writer can do is twist the word to fit a lyric, right? Twist it and R. Kelly does nothing but that in his original work. And when Weird Al does his version, everything lines up beautifully. The structure is good. It's clean. It's silly. Not clean in but clean in just like a structural way, in a lyrical construction way. So I think that's enough said about the original because it is just not good.
It's
so
bad.
Thoroughly not good. So I did not listen to the whole 33 chapters of Trapped in the Closet for this. I tried to be prepared for these guest appearances, but I decided against it.
You prepared just enough because
just enough.
Really, we're looking at Trapped in the Drive-Thru anyway. You just need the context of the original, to appreciate just how brilliant the fact that rather than try and overinflate a plot line even further or try to do something even more absurd than Trapped in the Closet, he did a complete 180 swerve and was like, I'm gonna write this epic song about the most mundane thing that could possibly happen. It's beyond relatable, just the story in and of itself. I could tell you, my husband and I virtually every Friday, because that's when we're like, okay, we're gonna go out for dinner today. It's where do we go? And it's a continuous stream of what are you in the mood for? what's in the area that we want to go to, like looking at Yelp reviews, like what's good, what's bad, what do other people think about it, and like figuring out where to eat takes forever.
It really does. It is relatable, and I love the way you said mundane, because that's exactly what the word I thought of was. He takes the mundane and makes it funny, because there is a lot of humor in our everyday mundane life, and I can't connect with the sordid cheating scandals of R. Kelly, weird, fanciful cheating scandals, but I can definitely identify with not knowing where to go for dinner with my wife. Like I can, the some of the lines in this I have said just in natural conversation. And not only does he elevate the mundane, but he provides the appropriate amount of drama.
Uh-huh.
There's drama. There is genuine drama, because the music of Trapped in the Closet and Trapped in the Drive-Thru, it's a pretty dramatic. It's dramatic. It's got a dramatic tone to it. It kind of
Mhm.
moves in that way, and he respects it. And that's what I love about Weird Al. In everything he parodies, he respects. He
Yes.
never makes fun of anything. He or the artist.
Mhm.
He's using the song as a platform to build upon, to make a joke with, to make something funny with.
Yes.
He's never I very rarely is he making fun of somebody, especially the artist, which is why I think artists appreciate it. They
Mhm.
realize he's not poking fun at you, he's using your song as a springboard for a funny idea.
Yes.
And I think it's
And
great.
yes, and the vast majority of the time when he is poking fun at an artist, the artist is in on the joke. Like
Yeah.
famously, Smells Like Nirvana, Kurt Cobain was like, "Oh, all right, that's funny." And
Yeah.
he was honored by it. The only time that he was quote unquote mean in a way that even didn't quite sit right with Weird Al was a Achy Breaky song.
Mm.
And he was like, "Oh, that was kind of mean." Like retroactively, he didn't feel super great
Yeah.
about it. But whatever.
Hey,
Yes.
1 out of what, 100? It's fine. I
Yes.
mean, yeah, we all have those. And yeah, that's what I love about Weird Al in general. And I'm sure we talk a lot about how great Weird Al is. I
Uh-huh.
don't want this to be a Weird Al love fest, which can
It
be.
always is.
But it always is. It's the name of the show. But yeah, I just think for Trapped in a Drive-Thru, he is so good at finding humor in the regular and the relatable. And this song in particular is just a masterwork of that. It's a
Yes.
masterwork of this one small half an hour of a couple's life, and you learn a lot about them as people. You have a lot of really good jokes. There's a lot of good, not fourth wall breaking, but all these different elements in there, and we'll go through it again. But boy, oh boy, this one's a treat. I love it.
It's so wonderful because it starts, with the guy sitting there watching TV. He's like totally zoned out about it. Then his wife gets home and it's like, okay, we got to figure out what to eat. And one of the things I love is running through. Well, what do we have in the fridge, and is there something we can do with it? It's like, well, that tuna went bad a week ago. You finished that chili yesterday. We don't have anything. Well, how about we get something delivered? And I don't want liver.
Oh, I don't want liver. And again, this is all little. And again, this is all very intentional. I like to think this is intentional, because it can't not be. It's too good to not to be accidental. He's putting these little things in here again that are very relatable, right? Like, I heard you say liver. What are you talking about, liver? I don't even like liver. No, I said deliver. And again, building this couple and the relationship of a couple very naturally through their dialogue, through their talking and interactions that feel very real, because very clearly, and this is maybe we may get to the scholarly deep dive part of the scholarly deep dive. He's building characters through dialogue,
Yes.
which is what you do in fiction. Like, that's the best way to build characters, is what they say and what they do.
Yeah, and
And-
it's through from the vantage point of the husband. So he's our
Yeah.
he's our unreliable narrator. He's just
Right.
saying what his wife is thinking. And scholarly about this, okay? Putting it in its literary context. Thinking about the author himself,
Uh-huh.
Weird Al got married in 99, 2000.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't
Okay.
know that.
So this came out in 2006. So he was comfortably married at that point. Because if you think in his oeuvre prior to this,
I love that.
we don't really have these real feeling relationships in a song. This is the first like really real relationship feeling song that I can think of. Listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, but like this is the first real thing. When you get to like Apocalypse after this, you have the song "If That Isn't Love," which he actually wrote because of a one-off line he said to his wife, and then it kind of came into this like, building this silly little couple off of that. But this is such a real couple, because at this point in 2005, 2006, Weird Al was part of a very real couple that very probably had to figure out what to get for dinner.
Exactly right. And I love the fact that he was able to use those. Sounds like he was able to use that real experience, because this is a very lived-in couple. It's a lived-in relationship. It's not a new relationship. You can just tell, and we should definitely take some time to talk about the music video, which is
the little cartoon,
which is glorious. I mean, it's glorious. And again, we can talk about the video later, but obviously it's a very lived-in relationship. They've been together a while. They're having these conversations of this mundane conversation we've all had that has import in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I going to spend $20 tonight? Like, this is important, And I really dig that so much.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and even arguing about like where to go to eat, the Ivy. I don't want to get all dressed up. I'm not in the mood for the Olive Garden. It made me think. I was like, my husband and I were watching some kind of YouTube video about the rise and fall of the Olive Garden, and we were both like, when was the last time you even went to an Olive Garden? And I was like, I don't know. I can't even remember.
I need to watch a YouTube video on the rise and fall of Olive Garden, because boy, was that a rise and fall. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I grew up in northern New Jersey, so going to Olive Garden would be like going like I'm trying to think of an equivalent, like a Texan who loves brisket going to like McDonald's.
Yep,
for
I totally understand. I'm
do
from Northeast Pennsylvania originally, so we're probably not all that
there you
far.
go.
I'm from like Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, so like if you're from northern New Jersey, yeah.
Yep.
So where was I going with this? Oh, the YouTube channel. But for those who are interested, I am not affiliated with this YouTube channel whatsoever, but it's a channel called Company Man, and he talks about the rise and fall of many like businesses, and I find them absolutely fascinating.
Yep.
And the guy does a really good job putting it together. So the Olive Garden one I definitely enjoyed. But I was like, when was the last time you went to an Olive Garden? But I can still I can taste the breadsticks. Still.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. I can taste the breadsticks, and I can also feel the feeling of it an hour later when all the chicken Alfredo is just sitting in the bottom of my stomach, percolating.
Too much.
That's too much. Too much. Yeah, because it's all you can eat.
I don't think I can handle physically endless breadsticks anymore. We made the mistake this past weekend of giving in and just getting a hot and ready from Little Caesars.
Hot and ready. I don't even think I know what a hot and ready is.
It's you go up to the drive-thru at a Little Caesars pizza place. You say, I would like a pepperoni hot and ready, please. And they give it to you immediately for $5.
Wow.
It's a medium pizza because they're hot and ready for you, like whenever. And then I got the crazy bread, which is the Little Caesars breadsticks.
Right. Yep.
I made myself sick eating too many breadsticks. I only had and they vary in size in this crazy bread. So I ate like 4, but
ooh, that's a lot of crazy.
But there was some of them were really tiny that I was like, that's like one bite of a bread. I'm like, does that count? But long story short, I ate too many breadsticks, and I said, this is a problem. So then part of it is in this song, they're like, how about that, Mexican place that they were thinking about? He's like, no, I'm sure it's going to give me gas. And it's like, that is something you also have to take into consideration. This is all so real.
She had a big lunch, so she's not super hungry. So all these factors are coming in. And if you're listening to this and you've been through this before, because if you're in a relationship, you have, you're just, all the things are triggering. You're like, oh my God. Oh no, I know what this is like. I know what it's like. Just figure it out, please.
Just figure it out.
And again, there's natural drama in that. There's some natural stakes, and they're small, but they are meaningful in the moment because that's a very relatable thing.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that I find slightly unrelatable. And it's not even unrelatable. It's just that I would have done it differently. If my husband and I were to decide that we were just going to go through a drive-thru and get drive-thru food, we wouldn't both go. I would.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. I also find it very charming. The price of the fast food is very charming. It's like $5 for 2 meals. What? In what? I mean, hey, wow, what was this now? What year is this?
2005. So it's
2006?
not
Yeah,
even 20 years ago.
not even
I
20
know
years
you're
ago.
right. I went to like McDonald's or something for, again, just the two of us. I didn't get anything like crazy. They're like $18, please. I'm like, on what earth?
I didn't get anything extravagant at McDonald's, and it's still almost cost me $20.
I can't.
That's crazy.
I can't.
It's And also the fact that they have to pay with cash only. That's not a thing anymore, which is also very charming. And
Yeah,
forgot his wallet. I can use my Apple Pay. So a lot of this stuff is very,
it's true.
I would say, dated, but it's of the era, and I think it's all the more charming. But all that stuff aside, even if you're a new listener to this and you can't fathom two people eating for $6, which, to be honest, that is extravagant. Even if you can't identify with that, you can identify with the underlying relational stuff where it's like, yeah, trying to figure out where to go, and just the pain and drudgery of going through a drive-through line. So much of that stuff is still there, and it's really
Yeah.
very, very clever.
Oh my God. And I think drive-thrus today have different pain and drudgery than they did at this time. I'm trying to think. There are some fast food restaurants that I will go to go through the drive-through where,
Right.
and I understand that probably to prevent things like what happened in this song where it's like, it's moving so slow and
Right.
things aren't getting done correctly, all this, that, and the other. They have like that clock inside so that they could only like take so much time with each car at the window.
Mhm.
Have you had the experience where you get up to the window, you pay, they give you like your drink, and they're like, okay, pull up around the corner, somebody will bring your food out to you? Like, this is new.
I've experienced this quite a bit, actually. I live in Austin, Texas, well, right outside of Austin, Texas. And so we are the land of Whataburger and Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
And it's just, and what it is. And Chick-fil-A, for some reason, is the most popular food stuff in the state, I think. For some reason. I don't know why.
It's the pickle
At
brine.
any given, maybe it is the pickle brine. It's for some reason this most popular thing in the state. And you can sit in line for 25 minutes. 25 minutes in a line of 20 people to get a chicken sandwich. And they do a very similar thing. They'll take your thing and then they'll say, okay, park in lane D, and someone will come out and give you the food. And it's like, I think you're doing this to artificially shorten the line. You're doing this trickery. So when I drive up and I'm like, oh, wow, instead of saying, oh, there's a line of 20 people, no, there's 4 lines of 5 cars each. That's not 20 people. That's 4 lines of 5 cars each. That's visually more appealing. I'm not going to just drive away. But yes, I agree with you. This is a thing that is happening in the modern day of drive-through eateries, where you don't wait at the window. You pull up and then you wait. You are at the mercy of the restaurants.
Yes.
Because you've now paid. It's over. It's it. You've paid.
You're in it.
Now you're in. You are pot committed, as they say in the world of poker. So yeah, so it's a very interesting thing. I've noticed that as well.
It's wild. And I mean, like, even Chick-fil-A chicanery aside, I've had it happen at like a regular ass Burger King with like 1 lane,
Mhm.
They'll be like, okay, pull up a little bit. I'm like, to where? Like, up by that garbage can. I'm like, okay. And then the car behind me can't get out around me anyhow, but they need to keep it moving. And the poor person's
Right.
like bringing it out. And I'm like, I don't understand who this is helping.
And then you look inside and the line is super short. People just walk up, get their stuff, leave. And I'm like, do I really need to sit here and listen to this podcast? I could just park and go inside and interact with people on a face-to-face level as opposed to a car window in person level. I don't know.
I've taken
yeah,
going
it's-
inside since this
I
whole
kinda-
like
I-
pull up thing. I'm like, if you're gonna if you're gonna add a third step to this, I'm just gonna go inside.
But then I have to stop the podcast I'm listening to.
Yeah.
And that's not okay. It's once I get into something, I'm in. There is a joy to just sitting, and the time kind of stands still a little bit when you're just sitting in the car as opposed to waiting in line with people. Plus, people are coughing and
Yeah.
disease ridden. So
You go
good
into the
times.
right one, do you remember those games that they used to have sitting on the the counter, like fast food places where they were like filled with water and they had the little platforms you had to like collect coins that dropped down on them and the money
Yeah.
supposedly went to charity. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
That'd be cool. You know what? I'm a sucker for a coin cyclone. You know, those big, giant
yeah.
cavernous circles, and you put the little quarter in. It takes 8 years to go down this giant little whirlpool.
Yeah.
Super into
There's
that.
something satisfying about it.
Like a cat staring at a bouncing string.
Yeah.
Here I am, just looking at a quarter.
We really are simple beings. Like we truly are.
We are.
Truly are.
I agree with that.
So
Fair.
back to the listening to things while you're waiting in the drive-thru.
Yes.
One of the most fascinating things in this song for me is the black dog interjection. And the thing I love about it primarily is that's like Weird Al's band recreating that. That's not a sample.
Right. And it's pretty good. I mean, it's a really good version of it. I mean, I wonder if they had to pay extra. I'm sure they had to pay for the rights to use at least. They did not the recording, obviously, because they recorded it themselves, but the actual song itself.
Yeah, I'm sure. So they got permission, obviously, from Jimmy Page to do it. And another thing that's interesting about the rights and permissions and the royalties and whatnot with this Trapped in the Drive-Thru song is that because the original was so long, there was concern that, you know, because your average Weird Al parody is what, 3 to 4 minutes, right? This is nearly 3 times. This is like 3 times that. So they were concerned that they were going to have to pay 3 times the royalties, which would have meant cutting other parodies from this album.
Oh, yeah. These things do have budgets. You're right. Wow. Okay.
So it ended up not being the case because, you know, it's one song and they didn't do all 33 chapters, you know. They kept it like reasonable. So that all worked out. But yeah, so this parody could have been the downfall of some of the other masterpieces on this album. Like, hand to God, if Confessions Part 3 got cut because of this, I don't know what I'd do. Because that's just as, if not more perfect a parody than this is.
Yeah, Straight Outta Linwood is an interesting Weird Al album. It's I think of all of the, I was kind of thinking about it, how it ranks in, you know, in the full catalog. It's kind of mid-tier for me. It's like a B- C+ album that has some stone cold bangers on it.
Yes.
So Confessions Part 3, of course, the Chamillionaire,
White and
Nerdy, of course, which that was, I'm surprised that was not a number 1 hit because that was everywhere. And that was one of that was everywhere. But Straight Out, White and Nerdy, which is an absolute classic, and this one, of course, as well.
Yeah.
But the other songs are fine, but the ones that are good here are great.
Yes, I agree.
It's an interesting record, yeah.
It's wild. It's definitely got big swings, really big swings.
Yeah, it's got very big swings.
There's nothing wrong with it. My husband and I, he came into the marriage with the Weird Al box set, Squeeze Box. So I joke with people that I married him because he had that. That wasn't all of the reason, but that was a fact. No, he's heard me say that. It's fine. But we just, you know, we like to list, you know, spin records and stuff. And he pulled Straight Outta Linwood off the shelf like 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, really? That one? That's the one you're picking for this moment right now? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I want to hear Confessions Part 3. I'm like, all right. And so then, you know, you got, you know, White and Nerdy, you got Weasel Stomping Day, you know, you've got Pancreas, all these other things. There's wild swings on this album. And I'm like, I forgot how all over the place it is. But I guess that's the music scene of 2006.
Yeah, well, 2006 was a strange. Music is always strange in a certain way, but 2006 sonically, you had Crunk was just starting to go away. So Crunk was like 2004 was like Crunk. That was the era of you know that was like, again, Chamillionaire and all that sort of thing. And I'm trying to remember what rock music was. We were just getting out of new metal as well. I think new metal we're getting out of new metal as well. So it's like kind of this weird in between point. There's a Taylor Hicks cover on Straight Outta Linwood, which is odd. Would make you proud?
Do it. That has one of my, I don't like that song one bit, like at all. But the bit where he's talking about carving her name in his leg and that bit where he goes, in my leg, I'm like, you know what? That is a great vocal. Just like in Trapped in the Drive-Thru, I love the I don't even like liver. Like and
Oh,
that's just a
and he throws those runs in, and it's really
he's so good.
and that's one of the things too, because I was on a Weird Al little mental journey today as I was kind of preparing for the show and just listening, and
Brilliant.
I was like, Weird Al I was trying to decide, is Weird Al a musician first or a comedian first?
Musician.
And it's funny, I'm really waffling between the two. I am very slightly leaning towards musician because he is an incredible musician. He is a wonderful singer. He is technically proficient. Like, he's an excellent musician. I think everything is in service to comedy. So I think comedy is the focus. But since he's such a good musician, his integrity as an artist just elevates the parody, which is why he's still the best parody writer out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's millions of covers and parodies of songs done by anyone with a microphone and a GarageBand account, and they don't work in the way he works because A, he's extremely talented, and B, everything's in service to the joke, to the idea, to the theme of what he's doing.
Yeah.
I waffled so much on that today. I spent way too much time today thinking, is he comedian or artist? Because he balances the two very beautifully, and this song is such a good example of that. It's yeah.
It's true. It's true. And this is a really good point. I feel like I could almost I don't want to dive into this too deep here now because I could almost do an entire episode of what is he? Is he a musician first or a comedian first? Like, what is it? And I mean, you have such a good answer there. And I think for me, part of it is that I think he tries harder at being a musician. I think he cares more about things sounding correct. I think the comedy is just something that comes more naturally to him as a person. So I don't think that answers your question, but in the spirit of it, I'm like the thing that that he works more on is the music, and the comedy is there with that. But you're right. The music is absolutely all there in service to the joke. Because if you haven't seen it, it's absolutely brilliant. You could find it on YouTube, and it's actually now on George Harrison's official YouTube channel, which I think is great. There's a George Harrison tribute concert where Weird Al covers the song "What Is Life" from the All Things Must Pass album. Mm-hmm. It is the most earnest and beautiful performance of that song that you'll probably ever see, and I'm sure the musicians that were playing this is like, oh, Weird Al's gonna come. Like, what are you gonna, like, what's gonna happen?
What's the joke? Where's the joke?
Where's the joke? And there was no joke. The only thing that was is like when he's singing, like he got the arms kind of doing the thing that he does. But I don't think that's on purpose half the time. I feel like that's just like when he's into it, like that's what happens with his body, and it's funny, but it's not on purpose. So I think there's so much that he does that's funny, but not on purpose. But then there's also a bunch that he does that's funny and absolutely on purpose. So
well, there's such a craft. There's such a craft to what he does, and I think that's another piece of the Weird Al puzzle. And I think in support of your argument, which is he's a musician first, is evidenced in how good the originals are. Because the originals are great. I mean, and everyone knows him for parodies, but half of his albums are always original songs.
Yep.
And the songs work as just songs, even if they weren't funny. Like, I was just listening through like Frank's 2000-inch TV. That's a great song. Just a song. That's a banger. That's an awesome song.
Yep.
And,
happy early 90s pop song. That's what you want.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Right. And he's just very adept at writing good songs and writing good and doing that. So, and that's why he's still one of the best. That's why when he drops, a single, it's one of the best parodies you've heard since his last one, because a lot of people do them and they don't have not just the skill or the craft or the earnestness. I think that's a big piece, like just this earnestness to it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Again,
I agree.
Kind of glowing about Weird Al. I don't get a chance to just talk about Weird Al very often with anybody, really. So forgive me if I'm like now just turning into the Weird Al praise fest. But,
well, I tell you this. Most of my guest spots end up turning into a Weird Al praise fest because most people are in the situation that you're in where they don't often get to just be like, okay, so Weird Al's a goddamn genius and I'm going to tell you why. Like, he is. And I'm very lucky that
Mm-hmm.
I just get to live that. Like, my husband is just as much of a Weird Al fan as I am. And so, like, I'll be like, so Weird Al is brilliant, right? And he's like, yes, go on. And like, there's no,
Right.
there's none of this. There's no proving it, you know? And so I love being the conduit to which people who don't get to talk
Yes, this is
about
great.
him can just be like, okay, so he's brilliant. Here's what I think. And I'm like, yes, I agree with you. And my audience loves it. Everybody's like,
That's awesome.
yeah. Like,
And that's what's fun. And that's what's fun about with a show like this is because you're capturing a fandom that really does love Weird Al.
Mhm.
And Weird Al, I always forget how big of a fan base there is and how a rabid fan base it is. Like people who like Weird Al love Weird Al.
Yep.
Like there's not a lot of casual. Oh yeah, he's fine. I remember one of your notes. I think was where my start with Weird Al. Just to kind of we'll go there, maybe drive
oh
back
yeah,
onto
yeah,
the
I
highway.
forgot about that.
We'll go back. No, we'll go back to the drive-thru. It's fine. I was thinking about it because it feels like Weird Al's always been there. I think my dad liked it, and my mom probably did, and I probably heard a few songs. But it really hit me with Bad Hair Day. That was the first album I owned.
Me too.
And yeah, and you might be the same age, similar age.
Yeah.
Because that's when Gangsta's Paradise came out, and Amish Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole album is fantastic. I still have a lot of heart for it. And I listened to that, and then I got off the deep end, and that was it. For like about a year, I just bought Weird Al stuff.
Yep.
I spent like
Same.
junior year of high school, I was just buying ska records and Weird Al stuff until
Oh
Running
my
with Scissors
God.
came out.
Then did
Yeah.
you poop? Did you poop yourself when you heard your horoscope for the day for the first time?
Forget it. Of course.
Oh man.
Yes. With Real Big Fish backing it. Yes. That's totally. Yep. I think that's Real Big Fish doing that one. I think
It's either
right? That's
them
their
or
horoscope?
it's either Real Big Fish or Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I always forget which one. And I may have said on a podcast at one point that it was Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. You know what? Whatever. I know it was
Hey,
like.
listen,
Here's the
they're
thing.
not perfect.
I'm not a ska. I just know that it was real ska people who did the thing. So
Yes. It's got it definitely has a real ska thing. I'm trying to look it up now real quick.
oh wait, you know what? You know
I'm
what?
pretty confident it's Real Big Fish.
Well, hold on. Here you go.
Wait a minute. I'll go check.
Oh, you have a drop for that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yes, it is
Real Big
a
Fish.
style parody of Real Big Fish, another 90s third wave ska. So I don't know. Let's see.
I'm Richie, aka Midnight Agent Raw.
I'm Devin, aka Special Delivery Dev.
We're the Super Media Bros podcast. And each week, we give a comedically informative take on movies,
Music,
television,
pro wrestling.
and much more. Check us out at supermediabrospodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else that you can listen to podcasts. Shades on.
We're off.
Hey, I'm Hansel Zarin from the BFYTW podcast, here with my buddy Stevie
Hey, what's up?
and Augie.
Hey.
And we're here to, first of all, categorically deny the rumors going around that all we've been doing lately is copying other podcasts. This is categorically untrue, and we deny it completely. Having said that, please continue to enjoy the Beard Owl podcast. But when you're done, please check out our new project, the Weird Ale podcast, where we pair an ale with a Weird Al song. Pretty sure that hasn't been done before.
Okay, so Dan and Travis of Real Big Fish play horns on it. So it's
Okay.
not Real Big Fish, but it's Dan and Travis of Real Big Fish do the horns. That's what
That's fair. So
Cool. And
okay.
So you were kind of right because it's not really. Yeah.
all of I just
That's
knew it was actual ska people. So all of the
It is
people
real
that
ska people.
I was on an episode that we already recorded of the Itch Rocks podcast. I misquoted that then, and I'm actually putting that episode out on this channel probably the week after this, so I'm gonna be wrong, folks.
Fair enough. That's
it's all
fine.
it's all good. I like
That's
being
fine.
proved wrong after I said something that's already been put out into the universe. But hey, you are a ska, and I am not. You're a scholar.
It's SKALOAR. Very nice. I like that. As it was in the late 90s, every ska band had the word ska in there. Everyone was Skavuvi and the Epitones or the Scatolites, or my favorite was Mephistopheles. Oh yeah, Mephistopheles. They were a satanic ska band out of New York. They're
No.
great, actually. Yep. Do yourself a favor.
I'm going
tonight.
to.
Do yourself a favor tonight on. I'm pretty sure it's on Spotify. Mephistopheles, the Bumblebee Tuna song. You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I'm excited.
Welcome to the next 7 or so minutes of your life. It's bizarre and kind of wonderful. That first Mephistopheles album is actually really, really good.
Okay.
It's satanic ska. It's very with air quotes for the listeners.
That's delightful.
It's very delightful. It's very charming.
I'm ready. This is great.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that you're weird. I love your Weird Al origin story. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it probably, and again, it was one of those in high school where you have friends make you tapes of things, and probably showed up. And I'm sure I saw the music video, like, oh, what is this? This is amazing. Like, this is so funny and good. And I just went into that rabbit hole, and that was it. Once Off the Deep End happened, I was like, okay, I'm in. That's it.
He's brilliant. When you get one, you want to get more, and the fact that we haven't had an album since 2014, I'm like, oh my god, when you got any more of that Weird Al music? I'm like scratching stuff.
Come on.
But he did say in an interview with Variety, I believe, recently that we will get new music in 2024. It's not going to be a full album, but he has promised at least a single. And I will take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I will take it.
So, I guess we're in chapter 3 of this Drive-Thru song where he pays and then he moves on.
Or does he?
Well, they do. They
almost don't.
They almost don't. They cut some from the food order.
They ditched the chicken sandwich, but they just so good. I wasn't even hungry anyway. Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I would be remiss if I didn't we don't have to go dive deep into it, but tell me who's this Paul? Like, who is this?
Who is Paul?
Who is Paul?
Who is Paul?
Did you love that he disgusted everybody? That Paul had like fungus on his toe. And it's just like, okay, you know what? Let's just stop talking about Paul now. And so then we move on to the guy at the next window.
Yes.
And his
Eugene.
name is Eugene. I love the cartoon Eugene, how he's just covered in pimples.
And just slack-jawed.
And now, I gotta ask. The line he says, "Sorry, I'm a little bit burnt tonight." What?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Weird Al. The only other real drug reference I can quickly recollect in any Weird Al music is from the In 3D album in 1984. Throw away all me ganja from the Buy Me a Condo song.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Eugene, is he? I'm just like, what kind of burnt is Eugene? Like, is Eugene just tired, or is Eugene burnt?
It's funny when I was listening to it of the age, which is I was 26, 2006. Dang.
Jeez.
I probably would assume burnt in more of like a drug way, but I think honestly, as I listen to it now, older, I think it's just I'm really burnt tonight. Like I'm really just burnt. Like I'm just tired.
Like burnt
out. Drive-through.
Yeah.
Burnt out. I'm just really burnt tonight. I don't think it's a drug reference, as I just kind of think about. I don't know, just knowing his work and kind of. I think that being a little burnt tonight is more of I'm just tired. I just was up all night studying or all up all night playing video games or just, not doing life. I'm just like really, really burnt. And I don't think it's drug related. And I think the image of Eugene in the video has this kind of slackery, pimple faced, a caricature of like a high school slacker type, but it doesn't read as like stoner. It doesn't code stoner for me.
Right. Visually. So that's where like the lyrics and the visual didn't jive for me, because like when I heard it prior to seeing the video, I was like, I'm a little bit burnt tonight, and I was like, oh, I got this high kid running the window with all the ketchup. Because yes, we are very near the same age. I was 21, so I'm like, okay,
fair.
What's happening now? And so yeah, but I read it the same way you do now. It's like, oh no, Eugene is just tired. So that's a good question. I think that's fair, and I didn't want to go too far past the second act of this, where they're ordering,
And one of my favorite moments of the entire song, and it always gets a big laugh out of me, is when she switches up from her usual order to the chicken sandwich. And he yells out and screams, "I don't know who you are anymore." I just cracked my look. I'm sorry. I tried. I can't quite hit it.
Great.
Can't quite hit a Weird Al note, but I don't know who you are anymore. What a dramatic reaction to a mundane thing that is so real. It's so rooted in truth. Like if my wife all of a sudden, when we were at like Whataburger, was like, I'm going to get like the patty melt. What? You're
Who
not
are
gonna,
you?
who are you? Who is this doppelganger that sits next to me in the car? And how did you get the keys? Tell me 3 things. Where were you born? I need to prove who you are.
Yes.
It's got that weird same vibe. But again, it's this familiar relationship that probably genuinely took him for a loop. Like, you always get the cheeseburger with the onions. Like, always. What? This is a tenet of our relationship has now been dashed. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, it brings up insecurities. Like, you've changed your mind about the food order. When you can change your mind about me now? Like, what's going to happen in 2 years? I mean, I think back. This is the first time I realized she was really changing.
That's great. No, that's true. And sometimes she didn't get the burger. I don't know what's going on.
First it was the burger. Second it was the drink. She wants Sprite instead of Coke. And now all I know is selling the house, and renaming the cat. And it's the whole thing. But I just love the delivery of that. And I know it sounds very micro, but again, I think Trapped into Drive-Thru is such a great expression of what he does well, because there's so much of it, and he's so good at that, at those little moments that are very real and relatable and actually feel like natural drama. I totally understand when you're thrown for a loop because you don't bother to ask, "Hey, we're gonna get some Freddy's. Get your usual?" Yeah.
Freddy's is good.
And then they're like, "Wait, you didn't give me a patty melt? Why didn't you give me a patty melt?" Well, you always get the patty melt. "Oh, no, I wanted this thing." What? What do you mean?
Who are you?
I knew you. If we were on a game show, I would have lost. We would have lost to $25,000 on the matchmaker game where you're like, or what was the
Newlywed
Hollywood newlywed game? That's it. Yeah, we would have lost. What?
Because you didn't get the thing that you usually order.
Yeah.
And I think there's brilliant storytelling happening here because you got to draw that thread, right? From when they order, there's so much happens between when the order gets placed and finalized to when he actually gets that burger out of the wrapper at the end of the song. Like, we as listeners have forgotten that the burger was supposed to have onions on it because so much else has gone down that I don't know about you, but the first time I heard this song after it ends, I bite into those buns and I can't believe it, they forgot the onions. I rewounded back to listen to the order to be like, did he actually order onions? And of course he did, because it's Weird Al. He put the song together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I forgot. And that's what makes it so real, is because so many other things are occurring. I, as a listener, actively paying attention to everything that's happening here, forgot the onions.
We have a taco place here in the Austin area called Torchy's Tacos. It's amazing. It's an incredible taco place. And we have one that's very close to our house, but they always mess up our order. Always. So is something wrong. There's missing something, or forgot something, or added something. They always do something not quite right. And like lemmings, we just keep going back because we're gluttons for punishment. And a couple weeks ago, my wife's, we ordered it, I came back with it, and I looked through and like, James, they got the order right. And it was like sunshine from heavens, hands in the air praise. Like we were like, yes. And we all can identify with that. Again, relatable of getting your drive-through food, and it's fast food. And it's not good for you, but it's good for right now. And you don't eat this a lot, or you maybe do, or you don't, but you're just excited because you get the smells and you get the burger. And you're like, forgot the onions. The sweetness, the crunch is not going to be there. And you can't go back. You can't go back.
Nope.
That's the whole point of the drive-thru, is to be quick and convenient, and you can't go back. It's not like a restaurant. If you're sitting there, excuse me, forgot the onions. Can you make me another one? Sort of thing. You can't just get another one. You're not going to get back in the car. You're not going to get back in that line. And you're not going to go inside and face the person face to face. That's the reason you went through the drive-thru in the first place, was to avoid in-person confrontation.
Yep. And in fact, you're probably wearing slippers. So.
And you're wearing bunny slippers, which I don't care. I would sit there with bunny slippers inside.
I know, I would too.
care.
I don't care.
It's fine.
It's not
But
me.
anyway, again, it's a beautiful end to the song because everybody listening to that goes, no, after all that, they forgot the onions. And everyone understands how much that sucks. You get an order from the drive-thru and it's not right.
It's the worst. It's the
It
worst.
is the worst. It's the worst.
The song ends on such a disappointing, because you're exactly right. We've all been there. The onions are probably the thing that he was looking forward to on it. See, I'm the kind of person where I can put up with a lot of things on sandwiches and stuff, but I think I've said this on the show before, but I actively dislike ketchup. I just don't like it. I've tried it.
I don't like it. I like it.
A bunch of times, and ketchup is default on so many fast food burger items. So I seriously just don't get fast food burgers, because if I were to say no ketchup, I'm gonna get ketchup. They're gonna put it on there, and so it's hard because you can't rely on them to get it right. This is why usually if I'm ordering if my husband wants a fast food burger, he's also plain just cheese. I go in so I can look the person in the eye and say, only cheese.
Listen here, okay? You and I, we have a personal connection right now. Brass tacks, just cheese, no ketchup. Heaven save you if that sugar syrup shows up on my burger. I'm with you, actually. I can't stand ketchup. I think I don't like ketchup at all. I despise it, actually. My son, who's 7, he's in bed. Yeah, he might be in bed right now.
Will you bathe in ketchup?
Doesn't bathe in ketchup, but he puts gross things in ketchup. He likes ketchup, but he does it to annoy me. He's like, Daddy, I'm gonna put some of my carrots in my ketchup. I'm like, I've told him, Daddy, can I put ketchup in my macaroni and cheese? I said, no, you may not. But Daddy, I like it. I'm like, I don't care if you like it. I don't want to food shame you, but it'll make me gag. So you don't want me to gag. I said, if you want it, I said to him a couple weeks ago, if you want to put ketchup in your macaroni and cheese, you can eat it in your room, because I can't watch you do it.
Oh my God.
And I don't want to food shame him, because now it's me in therapy in 20 years. Be like, my dad told me I get ketchup, and now I'm addicted. And
I'm addicted to ketchup.
I'm not trying to food shame him, because I think he might be the kid in the lunchroom who does weird things with food to get a laugh, which I'm actually okay with.
That's a good joke. That's a good shtick to have when you're 7.
Whatever listen, that's fine. However you make it through the Shawshank that is public school.
That's true.
However you get through the yard, man, do what you got to do. But I can't watch him do it. I would gag if he did it. I'd be like, I can't. It's not you. If you like it, that's fine. Daddy can't watch you eat that. And I have to sit here. I can't look at it. So I don't like ketchup either. I don't put ketchup on anything. I'm a mustard guy.
Okay. I mean, I'm not super big. I'll do a Dijon. I don't like a yellow mustard. So I got a Freddy's burger for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't know to say no mustard, because I'm looking at the picture and I'm seeing, look, it's all yellow. That's the cheese. And then I came out, I'm like, oh no. But the burger itself was so good that I'm like, I can work through this mustard situation.
I like spicy mustard. It's gotta have
me too. I'll do
gotta have a kick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from New Jersey. I can't. The only thing that yellow mustard should exist on is a hot dog.
All right.
That's the only thing you could put yellow mustard on. Otherwise, don't buy it. Why would you? Why?
I've never had yellow mustard in my house.
Just the only application that's fine is on a hot dog at a baseball game.
Wow, you've added even another stipulation to it. I like.
Yes,
it.
Well, yeah, because I'm not going to eat a hot dog. My daughter likes hot dogs. I take them or leave them, but that is a very nostalgic thing for me too. Hot dogs with yellow mustard at a baseball game. That's a nostalgic thing. I don't even like baseball that much. I do like that.
But that's a perfect nostalgic note for us to put a pin in this on too, because we got to the end of the drive-thru. We got to the end of the song. Unless you had any further points that you desperately needed to make, I feel like this is the perfect cap to our discussion.
I think so. The only thing I did want to focus on, and this is, I think, very emblematic of Weird Al as well, is that this song also has heart.
Yep.
Because there's that one moment where he looks at her and she looks at him, and he looks at her, she looks at him, and then of course the punchline is you have something in your teeth. And again, a very funny punchline. But in the midst of all this drama, that is a great storytelling beat as well. And it's something you don't hear a lot in Weird Al stuff. This is pretty rare, and I may have missed a few things in context, but just that one final little thing I think is just makes this really lovely, especially in the music video where they look at each other and you can tell it's like this worn in love where they're kind of like appreciation. Oh, you have something in your teeth. Very funny punchline. Just want to add that little capstone because I love that part so much.
I know. I think that's delightful. And I feel like that absolutely needed to be said because it's true. That's one of the things that makes the relationship in this surreal, despite all the inflated drama behind their drive-through trip, you know? Yeah, because I don't know. I'm the kind of person that if I see somebody got something in their teeth or their tag is out and like I know them even a little bit, I'll be like, hey, you know, but not everybody will do that. Like it's got to be the person they have that connection with. And so, you know, I think that's a very real thing to point out in the song.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a thing that you wouldn't do for just anybody.
That's true.
Most people wouldn't. I mean, it's a known thing.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about it. She's like going to her tongue and like, it's fair, but don't worry about it. It's not the big deal.
You can brush when
very,
you get
very
home. It's all good.
You can brush totally.
Oh my goodness. Well, Bill, again, I think, you know, people have now spent the past hour or so listening to you talk about Weird Al with me. So I know you talked a little bit about your show at the beginning. Just again, like tell them what it is and where they can find you if they would like to listen to you.
Yeah, once again, if you like retro video games, then head on over to A Gamer Looks at 40 on every pod player known to humanity at Gamer Looks at 4040. My main social media is Twitter. I'm not going to say X.
Nope.
Come on now. Listen, I'm 40 years old. I don't
We're
have to
older
conform to your
millennials.
name.
We don't care.
Yes, I'm not conforming to your name change. I'm sticking with the way I know it. A Gamer Looks at 4040 on Twitter. And I do some TikTok here, there, and everywhere as well, and other things here, there, as well. But yeah, please check out the show. Again, it's a retro gaming nostalgia fest where people talk about why they fell in love with games. If you like The Legend of Zelda, there's a lot of Zelda. I went through every Zelda game over the course of 4 to 5 months. So there's probably 20 hours worth of material on Zelda. So if you love The Legend of Zelda, it's a really interesting, I think at least, and I'm biased, I know, but it's an interesting encapsulation of why Zelda works and why people love it based on their personal stories. And there's some really intense personal stories that come out of conversations about a video game. There's some really cool ones and fun ones and silly ones. And it's so if you like Zelda, I recommend starting with that series. And if you dig that, then there's 100-something episodes else. So.
That's awesome. Yeah. So folks, start with that if that's what you're into. I appreciate you giving people don't start from the beginning. Start with this series because this is
why do people start from the beginning with podcasts?
Know.
I seriously was asking friends, I'm like, should I re-record my first show? Because I think it's good, but it's like 2.5 years old. Good. Like I've gotten better.
It's fine. Yeah. Part of me wants to archive or put our old stuff under a paywall or something. You know, if you really want to listen to me be bad, you go pay me. You know,
I almost want to re-record the intros and because because again, most of the interview stuff I do is real time, so I edit. My show is heavily edited. But I could just re-record my intros and outros. Even that would make it better, and not redo the interview itself.
Yeah,
just put another coat of paint on it. Just kind of pretty up the old first impression.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's not representative of what the show is now as far as it sounds and everything else. So I don't know.
That's how all shows get. I feel like part of it's you also watch sitcoms. You know how people are like, oh, once you get through the first season, it's great, but get through that first season to know who they are. I'm like, so part of me is like, maybe I just leave it because that is what it is. But
whatever.
So this show is not heavily edited. It is edited to not be terrible. Nah, I figure we got good equipment and the people that I'm talking to are generally good at doing this. So there's really not much I have to clean up. So
fair, very fair.
And also, I have 18 jobs. I don't have time to edit this heavily.
I don't know how I do it. It's insane.
I don't know. But all right, Bill, I believe it's time for us to say
and that's when those security guards threw us out.
And I've got drops for a whole bunch of Weird Al stuff. It's good times.
Everything.
Oh,
Fantastic.
It's wonderful. So yeah, thank you again for being here, and we're gonna come at you again next time with some fun Weird Al podcast content. I assure you. Goodbye, my friends.
Bye.
got a 1. We got a Drive-Thru again.